All right, I'm going to show you how I made $800,000 in just 3 days with no sales team. I know that sounds unbelievable, but I'll break it down and show you proof. And believe it or not, you only need 2 little worksheets, workbooks that you can print out. You need some sort of whiteboard that you can draw on, and preferably you simply need an extra phone and a camera. And if you have those things, you can do this. So this number right here, 30,000, in this spreadsheet tracker, which anybody could just make this up, it's just a spreadsheet, you'll see that it matches this $33,000 number here in my funnel. Now, why the number 33,000? Because we had 33 people put down a $1,000 deposit so that they had time to come up with the full investment for what we sell. Now, what we sell at this particular promotion is a $25,000 offer, which is a mixture of done with you and done for you service. And we gave everybody about a week to come together and wire money and move money and all that. So full disclosure, 4 or 5 of these people could not come up with the money, so we had to refund them their deposit. And not all of it is cash collected. About 70% paid in full, about 30% did a pay plan. So even though 33 times 25,000 is way more than 800, when you average it all out, it's about $800,000 in revenue, and 70-ish% of that was cash collected. We also made $60,271 in ticket sales, which I'll explain what ticket sales mean in a second. And you can see those numbers reflected here as well in the funnel so that you know that this is real. So let me go ahead and just expand my screen for a second. I'm going to map all this out so you understand how we did this and what this is. So the first thing you're going to need is some sort of business, preferably a client-based business. Maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you're a CPA, maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a consultant, or maybe you want to start a business like that. You want to sell some sort of consulting offer, which is obviously very popular. The way that we used to do it, and where I believe most people do it, is the top way, right here. They'll run some sort of traffic, which could be Facebook ads, it could be YouTube channel, Instagram, social media marketing, whatever. And they'll take that traffic to a sales video, right? And the sales video will be either a video on a page, or for you internet marketing people, a webinar or VSL that will then educate the person that came from traffic on what you do, and then take you to a call, and then on the call, you have to sell them on the thing, on your service, right? Problem with this model is that the traffic costs a lot of money these days. So you're down in money when you start out because you have to pay to get people to the sales video. Then on the sales video, if you don't do a good job, like little Mr. Frowny Face here, then you don't make any money, you just lose money. But even if you do a good job, now you get them to book a call, right? They book a call, but only a certain percentage of them show up. So you bleed money there. And then when you get on the phone, you have to do a good job on the phone, or your sales team has to do a good job on the phone for you to make the money. And if they do a bad job, you bleed money again. Now, I personally hate sales teams. And I understand there's a lot of people out there that sell you on sales teams and appointment setters and all that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm on your side. I think it's crazy, okay? I don't want to spend my whole life managing sales teams and setters and all this. I don't wanna work that hard, okay? I want an easier way to scale my business, which is why I came up with this way. And I didn't even really come up with it. People have been doing this for decades. You just don't realize it. And so instead of spending a bunch of money and being in the hole and hoping that this whole complex process works out so that you can make more money than you spent and thus have a profit, here's the way we do it. We do it with what's called paid presentations. So again, same thing, you start with the traffic. Now the traffic is gonna cost money, right? Even if you know, whether it's Facebook ads or it's paying a video editor to edit videos for your social media, the traffic costs money. However, what we do is we do not take them to a free sales video. We sell them a paid presentation. What's a paid presentation? Well, it is a multiple hour or multiple day event. It can be live or in person. It can be virtual or in person. I prefer to do it virtual, where we solve a small problem. So I'm going to write this down. We solve a small problem. Now, the reason we solve a small problem is because people will pay direct from an ad to solve a small problem, whether they know who you are or not. However, when you do a sales video, like a webinar, a VSL, or just a video on your website, most of the time, people try to solve a big problem. Hey, here's how to lose weight. Here's how to build a business. Here's how to save your marriage. These are big problems. And so you need trust in order to make this work. But when you solve a small problem, like come to this, in just 3 days, I'll help you plan out your macros, or in just 3 days, I'll show you how to argue less with your spouse, or in just 3 days, I'll show you whether or not you need to convert your Roth ROA, or in 3 days, we'll audit your cybersecurity for your company or your whatever. You solve a small problem, okay? What happens is when they're in this presentation, they then see that there's a much bigger problem that can be solved, and so they then will consider working with you at a higher level. And when you do this, the money that you spent here, you make it immediately back. And so it cancels it out. So just to show you, we spent money on ads, but we made $60,000 in ticket sales. So this $60,000 that you see right here represents what we made here, $60,000. This $60,000 paid for the roughly $14,000 we spent in ads, and my video editing team, because we do a lot of organic stuff, that paid for all that. We got 405 people on the paid presentation right here. And of those 405 people, 33 did what comes next. Well, what comes next? Well, when they realize that you can help them solve a bigger problem, you say, listen, if you're interested, I'd like you to submit a deposit to speak with us so we know you're serious. Now, the reason you can't do this on a sales video is because you don't build enough trust in a 10, 15, or even 2-hour sales video or webinar or whatever. You have to do a call because you just haven't built enough goodwill. But in a paid presentation, you've built so much goodwill that you can just say, hey, give me a deposit so I know you're serious. And then what I do is I get an extra phone. So I have 2 phones. I have 2 iPhones. This is my personal phone, and this is my money phone. And on my money phone, I only have my clients that text me so I can tell them if I'm a good fit to work with them or not and work out payment arrangements, whatever. So when they make this deposit, on the next page, they get my phone number. And on that page, I say, just text me. Don't call me. We're not having any calls. We're not booking any friggin' calls. Not doing calls. I want to spend time with my freaking family. Okay, I'm not going to be on the phone all day or managing some emotional wreck of a closer who closes great one week and the next week has a fight with his girlfriend and can't keep his shit together. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to say, just friggin' text me, because by this point, that's all they need. So they text me, and I say, it's a fit or it's not. We can make the payments work or not, and then boom. Send them an invoice or give them to my assistant to set up payments. That is it. And so I'll just put some screenshots on the screen right now that show that this is real, that I'm closing deals from a phone, and I'm not going to lie to you. Usually I'm on the shitter when I do it. Okay? That's my closed deals time when I take a crap. Just being honest. Full disclosure. Okay? It allows me to live an amazing life because I only have to work 3 days a month, basically. The only other time I work is stuff like this where I make YouTube videos. And it's just answering texts, which y'all text anyway. Y'all texting all day long anyway. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying if you want a simple business that requires little moving parts and you still want to be able to make a lot of money and get a lot of new clients, I would do this model. If you want to build a big team and you're good at complication and you're good at managing tons of people and you like complexity, then do this model. But this model to me is just hard. This model's easy. So this is what I do. Now, if you think that this particular part right here, the paid presentation part, is hard, how are you going to cover all this stuff in multiple hours and remember what to say? All I do is I print out a workbook for them to follow along, and a lesson plan for me to follow along. And then what I do is when I need to write something on the board, I have my bullet points, like you see here, and if I need to draw something, in order to remember to draw it, I simply draw it, take a screenshot, and I put it here, okay? So now, when I look at it, I can just go, oh yeah, I need to draw that, and then I draw that. And I just spend multiple hours teaching things, solving the small problem, drawing examples so people understand it, taking them through a workbook, and by the end of this event, I have now paid for my traffic. I've got a ton of interested people in the room. I've solved the small problem for them, given them value, and a percentage of those people will then want to work with us at a higher level. They'll put down a deposit. I'll text them on the phone, close them, done deal. That's how we did $800,000 in 3 days with no sales team. If you want to go deeper into this, and I'm not going to lie to you, I have one thing for sale, and it's not expensive. It's a ticket to a 3-day event called the Epic Pitch Challenge where I show this. However, you don't have to buy anything else from me. Out of 405 people, only 33 decided to buy something else from my company. Most people didn't. I still made $800,000, almost $1 million in total revenue because we have revenue from other sources plus the 60,000. So you don't have to buy anything else from me. Don't stress about that. I think you'll learn a lot. I'll leave a link in the description where you can check that out. Hope you like this video. See you in the next one.